Welcome. In this lesson, chapter 2, we're going to talk about organizing and finding those photos. Let's say, before we begin, let's click on chapter 2 so we can see some different photos instead of the chapter 1. Okay? Now, let's say that you have over 300 photos from last summer vacation in Hawaii, but you're trying to find a photo of you and your spouse. Your eyes are getting tired from looking at the same photos over and over, trying to find that certain photo you know is there. Your frustration rises, and you choose to do it another day. Maybe you want to create a perfect Mother's Day card, and you know that from last Christmas there was a nice photo of your mom, but unfortunately the photos are spread over an external drive, a flash drive, and they're combined with other photos reaching about 200 in all. Now, you only have a week to get this Mother's Day card perfect while running a family or working or school. So this is where Photoshop Elements comes in to save the day and makes your life easier. We are going to explain in this chapter different ways of tagging your photos and finding them through the use of key tags, star ratings, albums, smart albums, face recognition, and search comparability. You'll learn how to refine your search and to get exactly what you need. Now, the only downfall is this: you're going to have to go back to those photos that you have in key tag, and you're going to have to key tag them or put them in the appropriate folders. But the most important thing is don't give up and tag your photos, because once you do it once, that's it. And your return on investment will outweigh any time in doing it. But the most important thing is be consistent. And also, I'm going to present a way of doing it my way, but your way may be better or different. It's up to you, but at least allow me to show you a way. Now, before we begin, there's a debate whether to use folders or key tagging or both for organizing. Most professionals that I talk to and have read will agree that using a combination of the two is better because both have their pros and cons, such as sometimes folders can overlap with the same image, causing extra space being used, like one photo in the family, then one in the vacation, and so on. Folders can be daunting because you're trying to find out, which right year the vacation photos were in. But folders are great for general broad categories to organize your photos. Key tagging or keywords can be general to specific, down to anything that you want to add in a photo. The problem is you can get lost in key tag world, as I call it. So for example, let's say that I have an art photo. You can do key tagging and add key tags for art, pop art, Andy Warhol, repeating color theme, blue, green, yellow, orange, Whitney, and Whitney Museum. You can go on and on. So the best practice should be to create one folder, usually my pictures, and create broad category folders, and then use the key tag and for more general to specific. This way, if you don't have Photoshop Elements, at least you understand how your photos are kept. The next biggest issue, and I've already said this, is please, please, please be consistent. Be consistent. So if you download your photos to Photoshop Elements, key tag them right then and there so you get it done. Now, as you've noticed, I have one catalog in this class named PSE class, and I have 19 folders specifying the general subject, chapter 1, chapter 2, and chapter 3 that we need to cover. And we'll learn about the key tagging within each folder. So as long as you understand and get the general idea, you can apply it to your life. And of course, your organizing scheme may change over time, and that's okay. Mine has changed over time. Sometimes we can have categories as things we do, which are daily, people we love, which can be family or friends, maybe all about us, immediate family, or places we go. Let's talk about vacations. Here's another. Maybe you can have a category for immediate family, or friends, or anniversaries and birthdays, or school, sports, vacation, vacation trips, weddings, baby, pets, nature, places, church, and miscellaneous. So I've presented some ideas for you. Now let's apply it. We noticed there's many pictures in chapter 2, and I know that Photoshop Elements shifts to some categories, as you can see in the keyword tag panel here: people, location, events, and others. But we're going to do something a little different. We're going to get rid of those keyword tags and create our own. So the first thing I'd like you to do is to collapse the album view in the organized task pane by clicking this triangle, and that gives us more room to work with. And I want you to don't worry about people, but select locations and then click the minus. And that's going to tell you deleting this category will delete all its subcategories, all the keyword tags from any photos you've ever applied. But since we haven't applied anything, it doesn't matter. So click OK. Click Events, minus, OK. And then click Other, minus, OK. Now let's create our own. So I would click the plus button and pick New Category. Not New Keyword Tag, but New Category. And we're going to create these categories. So the first one would be I-family, which means immediate family. And I'm going to select the next icon, the green one. Click OK. And you see that I-family has been created in the keyword tag panel as a new category. Select the plus sign, new category, and we're going to choose family. And this, oops, excuse me, if I can spell here. Family, we'll select the third icon, the red one. So this is a family that's not immediate. Now select the plus and select new category. Put friends, and we'll use the fourth icon, the yellow, or orange, excuse me. Then click the plus, new category, and friends will put anniversaries, birthdays, oops, I can't spell, can I? Birthdays, and select the fifth icon. You can choose which icon you want. You can scroll here and choose whatever one makes you happy, or if you want, you could even choose a color. That's up to you. At least you have these options. So let me push this back here and select the purple, the plus, new category, and then choose vacation hyphen trips. There goes that I again. I guess my computer's having fun with the I. Vacation trips, so I'm going to pick the bird. No, let's pick the little housey thing. Okay, click OK. Plus, new category, and then pick, choose nature, and we'll choose the bird because that kind of makes more sense. Click OK. And then plus, new category, and lastly we'll pick, we'll name it places, not pick, but we'll name it places. And let's choose something else here. Since I used the house, we can use a little house. That's okay. So now in my keyword tag panel, I have people category, I-family category, family, friends, anniversary, birthdays, vacation, trips, nature, and places. Okay? Now the first thing is we're going to choose the first six pictures, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we're going to assume that we're going to call this the family pictures. Okay? So you would select the first picture, shift click the last picture, and see the actual photo here, drag that into family, just like that, and you'll see the keyword category is placed on this photo thumbnail. See the red, 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 red. It's just that easy. But you can do it another way. So you see this picture right here, which is on the third row. We can drag we can drag from the keyword panel to the photo instead. We don't have to do it that way, and we'll do the same thing. Now we're going to skip over this rose for just a second, and the next photo that I have is, looks like I have Boston, Miami, and South Beach. Those would look like vacation and trips, but maybe in my thinking, maybe vacations are like Disney World and Sea World and things of that sorts. So I think I'd rather rename vacation trips to maybe destinations, and that's if I can spell vacations right. So if you wanted to change the name of a category, all you have to do is select vacation trips, right click, and choose edit vacation trips category, and I'm going to rename it to destinations. Makes more sense to me. Click OK, and now that has been renamed to destinations. Now that we have destinations, we're going to take those photos and drag them into the keyword category. So all you do is, remember, you select and drag, or if you want, go from the keyword tag panel and drag to the appropriate photo, and then you can see how each photo is tagged nicely. And I believe I have one from Boston, or from Chicago, excuse me, so I'm going to select this folder and drag it to destinations. And it's tagged just that simple. Now scroll down until you see these star rating photos. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Go ahead and select the first one, shift click the last one. and that will select all 6 and drag it to destinations also, because that was Chicago. Okay, and then these photos are appropriately tagged. Now, let's say we have a few here, but can you imagine if you had 200? How would you know if you missed some? Well, Photoshop Elements again takes care of you. You can go to the Find menu and choose Untagged Items. And it will find the untagged items in the highlighted folder that you have called Chapter 2. And if you notice, we missed a couple of plants and some people here. So let's select this beautiful blue rose and the sunflower, shift click it, and then drag it to nature. We'll call it nature. Okay, and then the parrot has been identified with those. And we're going to put these in immediate family. So these 2 people here, we're going to say this is my brother. It's not. And then we're going to say this is my, well, this is my mom, and then my sister, but it's not. But we're going to drag this to immediate family for sake. Okay, so shift, click these 2 and drag it to iFamily. And so those have been tagged now. Now to see all those photos, once again, what do we have to do? Click Show All. Now here's the great thing about key tagging. I have these photos of Miami, Boston, and Chicago, which is in destinations. Now, I may have many more pictures than what you see here, and maybe I want different subcategories, one for Miami, one for Chicago, and one for Boston under destinations. How can I do this quickly? Well, Photoshop Elements again comes to your rescue. What you would do is click on the empty box here, and this will only show you the photos that have been tagged with destinations. Only these. Isn't that great? So instead of sifting through all those photos, you exactly pinpoint to exactly what you need. Now let's create some other categories for these to be placed into Boston, Chicago, and sorts. So you would select destinations. You can do right click, create a new subcategory in destinations category. I mean, it's really explicit. And we'll call one Chicago. And then click OK. And select destinations again. Right click and create new subcategory. And we'll call one Miami. Click OK. And then the next one is select destinations, and you can click the plus and pick new subcategory. You're not limited to just right clicking, just so you know. And we'll put Boston and then click OK. Did you notice the difference now? See, the keyword categories have icons such as these. The key tags have the orange looking things here. Okay? So now let's name our appropriate ones for Boston. So this is a Boston as indicated by the photo to make it easier for you. So I'm going to drag this key tag to here. This is Miami, so I'm going to drag Miami key tag here. This is South Beach, but we'll call it Miami for sakes. This one's Chicago. I'll drag Chicago. And the rest of these I know are Chicago, so I'm going to select the first one, shift click the last one, and then drag the Chicago key tag to this. And instantly, all of my photos have been tagged with the appropriate destinations inside the destination category. Now, let's say that I wanted to look at just the Chicago destinations. How would I do that? Well, I would unselect destinations and I would click on Chicago. And instantly, I'm only shown the photos that are in the Chicago key tag under destinations. Can you imagine how much time this can save you? It's just incredible. In the next lesson, we'll talk about people recognition.